to properly assess my qualifications for the job. A certified copy of my birth certificate, a blood sample, and maybe my last will and testament? Perhaps these were just details the woman who called this morning had failed to mention during our brief conversation. During the drive, I thought about how I had come to apply for the job at Martin Technologies in the first place. Mark Jablonski had put in a good word with Mr. Martin, the company's founder and CEO. Mark had been my training officer at the OIO and insisted this potential opportunity would fit my personality and interests like a glove. Mark and Mr. Martin were friends or colleagues of some sort. The actual connection was still a mystery, but Mark assured me I would at least get a chance to interview based on his recommendation alone. Initially, I resisted, thinking this was just another sign of quasi-nepotism, or at the least favoritism, running rampant in the workplace. However, after several weeks and no other job offers, I figured, what the hell? It was at least worth looking into. I pulled into the parking garage and checked my reflection once more in the rearview mirror. My nerves were getting the best of me. It was amusing to think I had been less anxious chasing armed thugs through the streets than I was going into an interview. There was something a little off inside my brain, and I suspected I was never properly socialized. Here goes nothing. I tried to bolster my confidence as I hurried to the MT building and pulled on the monogrammed brass door handle. Entering the lobby, I was amazed at how open and airy the room felt. Light was filtering in from all sides. The security office was a circular desk, set about 20 feet away from the front doors. There were a few couches throughout, and a row of elevators at the back of the building. It looked like a classy hotel, but as I approached the security station, I noticed numerous surveillance cameras, keypads, and other protocols in place. "Can I assist you, ma'am?" one of the security guards asked from behind the desk. "Miss Parker," I corrected automatically. I hated being called ma'am. That one word triggered too many bad memories. "I'm here to interview for the consulting position with Mr. Martin." The security guard smiled and asked to see my driver's license, so I pulled out my wallet and handed it to him. "Right this way, please." He went to a filing cabinet, pulled out a visitor's pass, handed it to me, and led the way to the elevator banks. He swiped his security badge through a card reader and pressed the elevator call button. The elevator dinged, and the doors whooshed open. We stepped inside. He pushed 17, and up we went. We exited into a hallway lined with lavish offices and conference rooms. The guard escorted me to conference room 3 and gestured inside. "Please wait here." Before I could say a word, he was gone. "Friendly group of people," I muttered, taking a seat in one of the rolling office chairs surrounding the large rectangular table. I opened my bag, pulled out my documents, and placed them neatly on the table. I was fidgeting with the corner of the stack of papers when I heard footsteps. "Hello," a woman's voice greeted. I spun around in my chair. "I'm Mrs. Griffin. I believe we spoke earlier on the telephone. You're here for the consulting position, correct?" I nodded and bit my tongue, ignoring the urge to mention her rude hang-up from earlier. "I see you arrived with no issues. That's a good sign." She appeared to be speaking to herself, so I continued to nod, unsure how to respond to her odd comments. "Mr. Martin shall be in momentarily. Can I get you anything while you wait? Tea, coffee, water?" "No, thank you. I'm fine." I couldn't get an accurate read on the woman, and before I could, she walked swiftly out of the room and closed the door behind her. I took a deep breath. The Martin Tech employees must be trying to perfect their disappearing acts. Before I could muse much further, the door opened again. This time, a man in a 3-piece Armani suit and Rolex walked through the door. If given the opportunity, I would have bet his shoes were Italian leather. His dark brown